As we continue our coverage of the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in downtown Memphis, I spoke exclusively one-on-one with civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson. Now, Jackson, as you might remember, was at the Lorraine Motel the evening that James Earl Ray shot and killed Dr. King. I want you to listen to Reverend Jackson reliving April 4th, 1968.
Reverend Jackson, thank you again for taking time to talk to me.
Good to see you again.
Thank you. I know it's difficult, 50 years ago, but take me to April 4th, 1968.
Really April 2nd of that, but we were in a staff meeting in Atlanta, preparing the Poor People's Campaign, going to Washington, perhaps to engage in civil disobedience to focus on ending the war in Vietnam, and reviving the war on poverty at home. Dr. King felt there was too much killing in Vietnam, 3 million people killed, and too little healing at home. And Jim Lawson called, Reverend Jim Lawson and Reverend Billy Kyles, about coming to Memphis because he felt that the sanitation workers' strike epitomized what we were trying to say, working poor people. Today, there are 43 million Americans who make less than $15 an hour. They're the working poor people. The Delta of Arkansas and Delta of Mississippi and Appalachia is even lower than that. And yet these people too have a right to health care, educate their children. They can't afford it. So that was the focus. We came to Memphis excited really about the sanitation workers. And then the day before we met with ministers, met with the workers again. There'd been some disruption in the march the week before. And we were getting ready to go to Reverend Billy Kyle's home for dinner. And I was coming across the courtyard, and Dr. King said, "Jesse, you're an hour late." He really was an hour late. He said that, "You don't even have on a shirt and tie." I said, "Doc, the prerequisite of eating is an appetite, not a tie." We laughed. He looked at my friend because said, "B&B should have played my favorite song there on the saxophone, Precious Lord." And Ben said, "Will," and he raised, pow! Hit him right here and severed his tie and went down and blew his heart out. He was dead on impact, really. He didn't suffer. He was dead on impact. And I heard somebody saying, "Get low, get low." I got low, we ran toward the steps. And there's a picture of Anthony Young, and I think Reverend Kyle pointing in that direction. We were pointing, saying that the bullet came from that way. The police were coming toward us with their guns out, saying it came from that way. And it was a redefining moment in American history in so many ways. It was a huge, traumatic moment. Every time I discuss it, the wound is fresh all over again.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to have you to relive it, but I think it's important that we continue to tell the story so that the next generation
one part of the story, we were determined, we knew at some point we would die. We were not going to let one bullet kill the whole movement. So our quest for fighting to end poverty, to end the war, and to close the wealth poverty gap remains our schedule even today.
And I'm sorry, I know it's painful. You remember so vividly. Do you ever forget?
I do not ever forget, but I have to combine the bitter and the sweet. The sweet is, in the Montgomery bus boycott, we won that battle, overcoming the psychological fears of going to jail for the principle of dignity over dollars and dignity over barbarism. We won the battle in Birmingham, dogs bit, but the fact is we won that battle. The right to vote, we won that battle. So Dr. King had said, in his last staff meeting, he said, "You know, I've had a migraine headache for 3 days. Maybe I've done as much as I can do in 13 years. I'm under attack because of my position on the war. As a noble lawyer, I cannot bifurcate my sense of justice, be concerned about justice at home and not peace in the world. And maybe I should just quit." Andy said, "Dr. King, don't talk that way." He said, "Well, Andy, don't say peace, peace, there is no peace. The world is in turmoil today." He said, "Well, maybe I could fast to the point of death. My friends would come by my bedside. There may be strategic disagreements, but we're fundamentally allies." And he said, "Let's turn the minus into a plus. We're going on to see what we must do." Those are the 3 moves of Jesus. Let this cup pass from me. And as Jesus taught disciples, slept, and then not my will but thine be done. He went to the same 3 moves. Not my will but thine be done. He died with his shoes on without fear and left us a tremendous mark of history on which to build the rest of our days.
Now, we talked for about an hour, and one of the things that we discussed was him calling Coretta Scott King the widow and telling him or telling her rather, that her husband had been shot. And we know that there were conflicting reports about where he had been shot, but Reverend Jackson said he could not bring himself to tell her that her husband was dead. And so that's the reason why he told her that she had been shot some other place than in the neck.